I spotted a bean rolling across the table, and that's when I stumbled onto a terrifying secret. The watchtower we'd been manning was leaning at a dangerous angle, and that was the least of our problems. Years of brutal storms had left the tower in shambles. The reactor had sprung a minor leak during a massive tsunami, forcing us to go through radiation decontamination once a week just to stay alive. But even that wasn't what kept us up at night. The storms had wiped out our supplies, drinking water was gone, the food in the fridge was nearly finished. To survive, the four of us had been rationing ourselves down to the bare minimum each day, just enough to keep our bodies going. We'd been stationed at this tower for 2 full years. Protocol called for a rotation every 2 years, but our replacements never showed. The deadline had long passed, and we hadn't heard a word. Just when we were on the edge of despair, I spotted something unusual during my watch. A ship was slowly closing in, but the radar wasn't picking up a thing. Something was seriously off. The captain immediately ordered Amy to run an IFF check, but no matter how many times she hailed them, there was no response. My gut told me it was probably our relief ship, but the captain hit the alarm and ordered Baldy up to the deck on standby. We had our doubts, but orders were orders. We swung the guns around. As the ship kept coming, every one of us held our breath. The shells were loaded, we were a second away from firing, and then the captain changed his mind. He wasn't sure if those were his own people on board, so he ordered me to take the motorboat out and get a closer look. I had no idea why he picked me, but military instinct kicked in and I didn't ask questions. I just went. As I pulled alongside the ship, the letters on the hull slowly came into focus. It was exactly the relief vessel we'd been waiting for, but there wasn't a soul on board. It floated there in silence, like a ghost ship. I swallowed my fear and climbed on, methodically searching every corner of the vessel. The cabins were a mess, everything draped in cobwebs. This ship had clearly been abandoned for a long time. So, what was it doing here? Could it really just be a coincidence? Deeper in the hold, I came across some personal belongings and 4 sets of military-issue protective gear. I was almost certain this was the equipment meant for the 4 soldiers coming to replace us. So where the hell were they? The food supplies, at least, were all still there. I was starving, and I didn't stop to think. I just started eating. What I didn't know was that back at the tower, the captain had already written me off. With no response from me, he concluded something had gone wrong and decided the ship had to be destroyed. But it was out of artillery range, which meant one thing: they'd have to use the ultimate weapon. Launching it required both him and Amy to turn their keys at the same time. Amy clearly wasn't on board with this, but she knew what happened to soldiers who disobeyed orders. She hesitated, then handed over her key. The captain inserted both keys and initiated the sequence. The launch code came up. Amy tried to say something. He shut her down. That's when I realized I'd switched off my radio a while back. The moment I turned it on, the voice that crackled through nearly gave me a heart attack.
We've gone live. Repeat, we've gone live.
No one here. All clear.
The captain let out a long breath, ordered me to tow the ship back, and stood down the launch. But when he pulled the keys out, he didn't return Amy's. As far as he was concerned, she'd hesitated at a critical moment, and that hesitation could have cost them everything. I had the ship back at the tower before long. When I found out how close I'd come to being blown up by my own captain, I was furious, though I kept it to myself. David, our tower's chief technician, inspected the ghost ship's engine. It had been dead for at least several months, so how had it drifted all the way here? The food stores were fully stocked, but every single crew member had vanished without a trace.